Alright, so we're about to get pretty personal, so buckle up because safety is important, and here we go. Hey everyone, it's Jeff. I hope you're doing well. So, disclaimer, I will be talking about bottom surgery, hence the title of this video. So if that makes you feel maybe a little uncomfortable or dysphoric or anything, please feel free to go off and look at other videos on the internet. I highly recommend videos of puppies because those precious little fluff balls are absolutely wonderful and they always make me smile. But if you're still here we go. For the last few years or so, I've kind of told myself that this is something that I want in my life, but I don't need it now. I don't necessarily need it now. And I think that was probably because I wanted to believe the myths surrounding it, that the results aren't really that great, which is a complete lie because the results that people are kind of scrutinizing and being just dicks about, no pun intended on that, are results that are fairly new, fairly recent. Like, they're not healed. The stages aren't complete. But I wanted to believe these myths because then I wouldn't want it now. I wouldn't need it now. But the thing that kind of changed for me from I want it later on in life, I don't necessarily need it now, happened because within the last year, I was in a relationship with someone and was intimate for the first time. And I found it really difficult to be with someone who was sexual and who wanted to show their love and affection for me in that way because I had the hardest time receiving it. Because when I think of me being intimate with someone, I think of, having something. And so because I didn't have that and because I wasn't really fully comfortable with that, it was really, really difficult. And it took being out of that relationship and kind of reflecting on it for me to finally stop censoring myself on how I felt about that topic specifically. I also want to note that I am post-top surgery, and sometimes your feelings towards bottom surgery can change and shift after top surgery because, for me, top dysphoria was the worst and was worse than bottom dysphoria. And so when I had top surgery, the dysphoria that I felt there on my chest kind of shifted. It shifted down. And when I was bringing attention to that lower area, and when somebody else was bringing attention to that lower area in regards to intimacy and things, it was really difficult. I want it to be clear that not everybody who is trans has to have surgeries. Not everybody who is trans will have surgeries. Whatever your thoughts and feelings towards surgery are completely valid, and I don't want my personal experience and personal things to be shifting how you feel about your own. I'm just talking about my own thoughts and feelings on it, and recently, talking with my therapist and talking with friends who have been able to have that conversation with me, and even talking with my mom, was really beneficial for me to figure out, hey, this is something that you want, this is something that you're gonna have to work towards, and I'm all for, body positivity and loving your body the way that it is, but right now, this is something that I need to do for myself, personally. But when I was talking with my mom, her first response was honestly, I was waiting for you to come and talk to me about this when you were ready, and now I see that you're ready. So, obviously in the past, I've expressed feelings towards this, and I think, I was always just, it'll happen later on in life, I don't need it now. And that has kind of shifted. For me, to have kind of an intimate relationship with someone, I do want it to be in a way that I feel comfortable and in a way that makes me feel good. I'm not going to go super in-depth on all of the different types of bottom surgery because there are a bunch of wonderful educational videos that already exist on the internet. There are a vast amount of surgeries that can be done. The most popular and most well-known, though, are phalloplasty and metodioplasty. So with phalloplasty, there are even multiple donor sites that can be used, like the forearm or the thigh being the most popular for that. And obviously, I have forearm tattoos, so I'm kind of hoping and leaning towards getting the thigh as my donor site. But I mean, if the surgeon is like, hey, you have to use the forearm as your donor site, I would do it. It would just be kind of funny for me, because then I would have a tattooed dick, which I guess could be a cool party trick or gift in some way, shape, or form. I do have a hysterectomy planned. It is going to be a total laparoscopic hysterectomy, oophorectomy, so removing absolutely everything, and that is scheduled for August 18th, 2016, which is in the next couple of months, and I am actually really excited about that. My surgeon and doctor is super awesome. This is something that he's done even though my region isn't really super trans friendly. So yes, I'm having a hysterectomy. Yes, I'm planning on hopefully having ALT phalloplasty. Dr. Crane is who I would want to have surgery with because of his results and kind of his consistency, and that's something that I look for, and I think that he would be able to give me what I personally would like. Again, whatever your thoughts are on surgeries or not having surgeries, those are completely valid to your experience. These are my personal thoughts and feelings on the matter. You are valid, you are loved. I hope that you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you again next Monday. Bye.